Aloha, Shakeenah.
Welcome, BlueStar, also known as Deerwomon, to the New Earth Healers interviews. I understand, BlueStar, you are in Hawaii right now, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I'm on the Big Island of Hawaii.
All right. And what are you doing in Hawaii at this time?
Well, presently I am taking as much time as possible to sit and commune with the energies of the island, with the awareness that there is an indigenous culture that's being remembered, and there's much ancestors and lineage that are speaking here. So I came here to listen and to understand better.
Yes. All right. And now, BlueStar, many people know you, or everyone knows you by the name of Deerwomon, especially in the Eureka Springs area. So I'm sure many will be interested to know, how did you gain the name BlueStar, and what does it represent?
Okay. Well, there's actually maybe about a half a dozen or more people in Eureka Springs that were aware that I was entertaining the name of BlueStar.
Okay.
And in fact, there were a few that were really trying to encourage me to initiate that name before I left, because they saw that I was going through a major passageway coming to the Big Island.
Yes.
However, intuitively, I didn't sense it was the right timing, and decided I would just continue to go forth and wait and see when that name would come forward.
Okay.
At the time, what I had shared with the family in Eureka Springs is that BlueStar really represented my star being self, a greater consciousness, and also my higher self.
Okay.
So, okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the explanation. And what are you actually working on now? I'm aware that you have plans to move from Hawaii. What are your plans about right now?
Okay. When I came towards the Big Island, I had clarified that I was not moving to the Big Island. I was journeying here. And I would come here and see what would be made known to me. And I always had a sense there was a country behind Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what country that was.
Yes.
About a year and a half ago, I started tuning into the One People on the Blog Talk radio shows. And I began to get informed that there was actually a group of people out in the world that were very aware of our planet being enslaved and seeking a larger global consciousness together. And also, they were very dedicated to understanding that we are all divine spiritual beings having an experience on Earth. And that listening to our divine selves is really the guidance that we wanted to cultivate. And so I have listened to 4 different radio shows every week for about a year and a half.
Now, I'm sorry, excuse me. Are these 4 different radio shows over this year and a half, are they all connected to the One People?
Yes, they're all connected to the One People. They're just addressing different aspects of consciousness topics.
Uh-huh.
And so, in having joined this family, I really felt that I was resonating with the kind of consciousness that they were sharing. And about halfway through the year, I began to call in and participate in the conversation. Because of their vision and connectedness, I started to really want to be with them. And shortly after I came over to the Big Island, they were doing an Opal tour on the mainland.
Now, excuse me, what does that mean, an Opal tour?
It was basically basically the one people had decided that they were going to journey around the mainland and have gatherings of anyone and everyone who had been on the radio shows that wanted to come together in a more intimate setting and spend, say, 3 days to a week together.
All right. So you've actually met some of these people already?
No. The three main hosts at the time, one was in Australia, one was in New York, the other was in California. And they finally came together on the mainland and traveled together and then realized that they were going to head to Morocco. And there's a lot of work, a lot of information that I can't quite cover in a brief interview, but
yes,
as you do the research, if you go to i-uv.com, you can see the earlier archives of how this whole group got launched.
Uh-huh. That's I-U as in understanding, V as in violet.com?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
And so as this group came together, we were starting to talk about, the community online was starting to talk about, well, you know, after they did the Opal tour, where could we land? Where's a place that maybe we could all come together?
Uh-huh.
And that had not unfolded yet.
Okay.
But I, too, was beginning to wait and see, like, where they might land, and I sensed that I would seriously consider going where they landed. And so about 2.5 months ago, they had gone to Morocco because one of the main people that they work with is living in Morocco. So they went to Morocco and very quickly realized that this was where they were going to root. And they communicated with the village people and found that they had a heart connection and an understanding of what the intention of the one people. And they are now in the process of co-creating with the village people.
Okay.
It's about an hour outside Tangiers. Well, needless to say, as this movement started, I started getting very excited, and I realized that my heart and soul was really beginning to resonate with wanting to be with them. And that's when I decided, that's it. I'm going to Morocco.
Okay.
I want to be with these people.
Yes. And BlueStar, are you still working with your psychic mentoring and your healing work?
Yes. What I've done here on the Big Island is markets are very popular, farmers markets and arts and crafts and services. So there's been a market here in Na'alehu that I have set up my table, and I do psychic mentoring, and I've also have facilitated some gatherings. And at this point in my life, the mentoring that I'm offering to the people is very related to the consciousness sharing that I'm doing with the one people at this point.
Yes.
That now I'm able to, my vocabulary has become broader in being able to share with people, no matter where they are on their spiritual path, guidance in what steps they can take to be more in line with their higher self.
Uh-huh.
And also I have some real practical data that I can share about learning how the planet has been deliberately enslaved and how we can begin to deprogram ourselves and begin to listen to our multidimensional aspects of ourselves.
Okay, so what exactly are the goals of the One People group? Those that are not in Morocco already, when they relocate to Morocco as a group, what are the goals, the overall goals?
Okay.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that there's nothing that's going to be predetermined or pre-designed that's set up in Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
The understanding is that we are a group of people that are sharing similar consciousness, and that we wanted a place where we could gather, but you're basically being invited to come and move there like you would move anywhere. Find a place to live, find out what you love to do, and that there is a great trust in that if you follow your heart and your passion, then whatever you do is going to serve the community. Now, there is a collective vision of sustainability. There is a collective vision of education of consciousness and all the beautiful things that we've talked about on the planet. However, it won't be a preordained structure. We will trust that those who come, the ones who love to farm will grow food. The ones who love to teach will begin in education. The ones that love to create inventions and free energy, they will arrive as well. Which, by the way, there is a global call out right now for the scientists and inventors that have already created free energy, but have been limited by the powers that were. And there's been an invitation to come to Morocco, and we've also have been informed by the African government that they will provide protection and safety for that creative expression.
And that sounds good. Now, BlueStar, do you have a website or a web page of some sort that if someone was interested in your psychic mentoring, they could contact you through that, or a phone number? What sort of contact information do you have available?
Yes, thank you. I have my personal website, Deerwomon.com, and now if you scroll to the bottom of that first page, you'll see a brochure that I put together all the different areas of mentoring that I offer. And then I also need to update with the New Earth Healers and the Arkansas Healers with Marie. I need to update my location. And also, I'm remembering I did not explain to you BlueStar. Why I chose that. Before I forget.
Well, you did mention a little. Yes, go ahead. Continue.
Okay. But, just to clarify, it was the experience of my higher self has always come through a blue-white ray. And I also recognize the value and potency of that ray when we're working with our visualizations and meditations. And so for about a year, I have been calling my higher self Blue. And then I became very aware that I'm aware of myself as a star seed, as a star. And so BlueStar is how that came through. And BlueStar represents infinite consciousness, eternal essence.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to say in regards to your vision for 2014 and beyond?
I would like everyone to know that anyone and everyone who has a call for infinite freedom is welcome to join us in Morocco. You can always reach me via my email, which you'll find on my site, or you can share Shakeenah with this recording. And that I highly encourage the links that I gave to you the other night, if you'll share that with the community.
Yes, I will.
That will give all the people the option to understand why Morocco, and to be able to listen to some of these broadcasts, which I am now an active participant on.
Alrighty. So one more question. Approximately how many people are involved with the radio shows, presenting the radio shows?
I'd say there's probably about 8 to 10 hosts.
And
the radio shows.
Are you considered as a host at this time?
No, I'm not considered a host.
You're one of the major contributors at this time.
That's right. I call in and have conversation with them.
Awesome. Do you do any of your psychic mentoring by any chance during these calls?
I'm just who I am, and that comes through. The other radio show, I actually facilitated a shamanic improvisation session on the line, and it was incredibly successful.
Wow.
I did say to them, you know, I won't be surprised if we do a shamanic improvisational radio show.
Uh-huh.
And so I could very well launch one myself.
True. Do that.
Thank you.
All right, BlueStar, it was very awesome speaking to you again, all the way in Hawaii. And the next time, do you have any time frame related to when you think you'll be in Morocco?
I'd like to think I'll be there in a few weeks.
Wow, awesome. Okay, so the next time we speak, you may be in Morocco.
And if we speak again, it'll probably be through Blog Talk Radio via Skype.
Right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and aloha, and shalom, om, peace, light, and love to you.
Aloha, and I love all of you dearly.
We love you too, BlueStar. Om.
Grateful.